Hey guys, it's Eddie and today I am back with another movie review for you all. Now I'm just going to mention to you guys that I've had to pre-record these videos like a couple in advance because I was going back to uni soon. That makes no sense. Wait. Well, by the time that you get this I will be at uni. So, and I don't really like filming at uni because it's just kind of inconvenient, like the lighting's not as good here and there's so much noise that it's kind of not the best place to film for you guys to get out good videos. So I decided to pre-record a few reviews in advance. So I hope you guys don't mind about that. But yeah, it was just something that I had to do. But nevertheless, I'm back with another movie review, and today's movie that we're going to be reviewing is Boyhood, and that's directed by Richard Linklater, and it stars Patricia Arquette, Ethan Hawke, Ella Coltrane, and Laura Lee Linklater. Now, I think that this is such an extraordinary picture. I didn't really know what to expect when I started to watch it. I kind of thought, oh, because films like this aren't really my kind of film. I don't really have a kind of film, but I wasn't walking in to watching this film with, great excitement. I was just like, I should watch this because it had great reviews and there was huge Oscar buzz about it. Patricia Arquette won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, so I was like, okay, let's give it a try. But I wasn't ecstatic about watching it. But it is completely different to anything that I have ever watched before, and it was quite an amazing experience because the whole film centres around the life of this boy and his family. The boy played by Ella Coltrane, whose name is Mason, and it's basically just about his family life as he grows from a boy to an adult. It sort of starts off when he's, I don't know, fairly young, and then it reaches the point where he attends college for the first time. And it's surreal because this man is growing up before your very eyes because the same actor has been used over, I think, a 12-year period. I think it was 12 years. Because the same actor has been used and periodically filmed to create this picture over a large amount of time, you literally get to see a person grow up before your very eyes, and it is a really surreal experience, and it's crazy and it's really unique and different. And because it's amidst a work of fiction, it's fine, like you still get the story, but then you're kind of like, oh my god, I can't believe this is the same boy that we met at the beginning. Like he's literally grown up while you've been watching the film within basically a 2-hour 45-minute period, and it's crazy. It's really captivating for that reason, but also because the surrounding cast are so dedicated and wonderful. I love Ethan Hawke. I think he's great, and he plays the kind of sort of cool, sort of loving, caring dad who the kids really get to see sort of weekends or like odd weeks because him and their mother are divorced, and I think he's just a really sort of adorable character, I guess. But it's great because not only do you get to see the kids change, but you get to see the adults change, and they go through different phases. And of course at the beginning, Ethan Hawke's character is clearly a guy that Patricia Arquette's character divorced because he really wasn't sort of, I don't know, family man material, simply because he's still a little bit childish and he hasn't really grown up yet himself. But you see him undergo a change as well. So for example, when he meets a new partner and has a new baby, and as well, Patricia Arquette, who plays the mother, is just so wonderful in her role, and we see her undergo some tough times. She's sort of she's striving to get her degree. I think it's in psychology. But in the meantime, we see her sort of bounce from sort of drunken, alcoholic, abusive man to the next. And you really sort of want the best for her. And it's hard to watch her go through it, but her performance is so raw and real. And, you know, the sort of realism that she puts into her performance is so wonderful to watch. And I think that's the main thing about this whole film. This film feels so natural, so real. So despite having these two particularly famous actors in with Arquette and Hawke, you still feel like you are watching a family. You are still absorbed into that idea that this is not, you know, it's almost like a documentary about a family life. It's not, it doesn't seem like a film, like actors portraying characters in some points. I think it's just such an immersive experience to watch this film. And the cutaways as well, without explanation, the sort of jumps, chronological jumps to, you know, the next year or a few months, like they really keep you on your toes, and they sort of keep you wondering the constant question, you know, what is happening in this boy's life at the moment? What's currently going on with Mason? Like, you really do want to know, or I found myself sort of really intrigued to see like how he was coping with growing up and what was new in his life. And what I love about this film is how also again, how natural it feels. And this is also, of course, helped by the great acting. I have to commend Ella Coltrane, who plays Mason, for his acting, because he really just, on screen, he just feels totally natural, totally normal. I suppose it would feel natural by the end of a 12-year period of filming. If it isn't 12 years, by the way, forgive me, because I could be totally wrong, but I suppose it would feel normal to be on camera, having been on camera periodically for a good chunk of your life so far. But yeah, I also commend the director for committing himself to such a phenomenal project. It's totally new and amazing, and I love the format. I think to take on such a task and to create a film with such ambition, yet while still being so grounded and so real and just feeling so natural to watch, is a real achievement. And I'm really pleased that I have seen this film, because, as I said, it's usually not my kind of film, but I really loved it. And I think with this film as well, despite the fact that it's called Boyhood, and it's about this one boy, because of the involvement of the whole sort of fictional family in this film, there are constant themes that arise from this that I think a lot of people can sort of simultaneously take from and appreciate and relate to. It really does feel like you're watching a documentary instead of a film. You're just following this boy's life from childhood to adulthood, and I love it. I think it's a fantastic film. Now, I will say that it is a lengthy picture. I think I mentioned earlier that it was about 2 hours 45 minutes, so set yourself aside a good 3 hours to watch this picture. And I will say that, of course, not all of life is exciting, and I think that is what is really sort of I really appreciate about this film. But at the same time, some elements of the film were a little bit you had to sort of wade through to get to the more, you know, exciting bits, but you were still really involved in this boy's and his family's life. It's just that some bits were a little less engaging than others. So yeah, it may not be the most exciting picture, but it still absorbs you, it still sort of captivates you, it sort of seizes your heart a little bit because you grow really attached to these characters. But despite the length and, you know, despite the sort of ups and downs of this picture, you really do feel sort of satisfied at the end having watched it. And that's because you know that you've watched something truly unique. So yeah, I have to say that this movie is really great, and I'm super glad that I gave it a chance, and I think a lot of people should. A lot of people might have watched it out there and totally adored it and loved it first go. And I did. It just took me a long time to actually sit down and watch it, but I'm super glad I have. Um, so that was my take on Boyhood. That was my review of it. If I had to give it a rating out of 5 stars, I'd probably give it 4.5, just because I wasn't thrilled by it. But I don't think it's a picture that tends to thrill you. It's just a picture that really sort of grasps your emotions and sort of you get attached to, not because it's totally exhilarating, but because it's such a down-to-earth, wonderfully constructed picture. And it's totally different, and I have to give it full credit for that and to the work that was put into it. It's a fantastic piece of cinema. So yeah, I fully commend Richard Linklater for that. Amazing direction and such commitment to a wonderful picture. So yeah, I really liked this movie, and if there are any of you who have suggestions for movies for me to review in the future, please leave a comment below or message me on my Tumblr. The link will be in the description below. But that for now is my review of Boyhood. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.